Here we are on the banks of the Schuylkill River. Right here is the Fairmount Dam. Go ahead, Rick the Puppy, run free. No one is here but us. Yelma! He's walking Rick the Puppy. Look, Rick the Puppy, I don't think you went. Why don't you piss on the historical building? There you go. Right there. Have you ever seen Boathouse Row, Rick? Rick. Well, listen, you can't be jumping. You can't be jumping. I can't have you jumping up here. We're a little high. Well, actually, we're not that high. Physically. There it is, the Fairmount Dam. Right there is the skyline of Center City, Philadelphia. The helicopter flying over us. And that big, magnificent building right there, that's the Philadelphia Museum of Art. Guess what? They changed its name to the Philadelphia Art Museum or something like that. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing the name change. I'm going to call it the Philadelphia Museum of Art. Or no, that's what we call it. That's what I call it. I don't do name changes. Companies spend millions and millions of dollars to do name changes to things that already have names, because that's how much money they have to spend. We have a public transportation system in this city. It's called SEPTA. And SEPTA spent millions of dollars renaming buses. Instead of the 15, it's now the G. And except that they have no money because they spend it on projects like naming things that already have names. One of my pet peeves is renaming stuff. Look at this, Rick the Puppy. When you go in here, this is a catering hall. This is right here. People get married in here. And they have wedding receptions, and you can have it right here off the bank. Look, you have Boathouse Row in the background. It's real pretty. I'm filming this, if you're watching the day I premiere this. There's a building that tells you the day and the time. It's November 3rd. Tomorrow's November 4th. And tomorrow is the election where Pat Dugan's going up against Larry Krasner. And I promised myself I wouldn't get worked up over another election ever again. I said that to myself about 5-6 years ago. I'm done. I'm done with the politics. That's a helicopter. Why is the helicopter flying over us, Rick the Puppy? You know, they got people doing gym. They're doing they're working out in the park here. Sometimes the city has these events all around Philadelphia parks, and they have like free workouts. You could do yoga, Pilates. All you gotta do is like Google free yoga in Philadelphia. And there's all types of events the city does. Did I mention I love this city? Dude, I love this city so much. This is hell. I hope it's not like they're chasing a shooter. That wouldn't be the first time that happened to me in this area. I was at a shooting on the 4th of July not that long ago. And by the way, we're going up the art museum this way, up this ramp. Yeah, there was a shooting on the 4th of July a few years ago. They never caught the person who did that. And it was pure chaos. Because there was like a shooting and a firework display happening at the same time. And once they start a firework display, they can't stop it. So for 15 minutes, we were running from an active shooter while there was a fireworks show happening. And It was horrible, cuz I couldn't, like I was on edge for hours because every time I heard a firework, still to this day, it still fucks me up. So anyway, tomorrow's the big election. And if people come out, people were mad, man. People were fed up with this Larry Krasner. He's just a very unlikable person. And Pat Dugan, the judge, he's a good guy, man. I spent a lot of time with him the last few weeks. Before he let me interview him on camera, we went to dinner and we talked for about an hour or two. And no cars, but guess what, Rick the Puppy, we're allowed. We got this blocked off right here. Right here is the Philadelphia Art Museum. So, you know, I met him, and he's a very nice guy, man. The guy you see, well, some of the guy you see is him being a politician. But in my long-form interviews with the guy, the real guy breaks through. It takes a while, you know? And the reason why I'm all in on Pat is one, you know, he's not Larry Krasner. Two, he actually cares about the city. He gave up a pretty cushy job, a pretty good salary for like 9 years or 10 years to run against Larry Krasner. And he's not being helped by either political party. Like no one's, well, he's running as a Republican, but he's registered as a Democrat because that's what he, you know, in Philadelphia, I hate to break it to you. In Philadelphia, the only election that really matters is the Democratic primary. Usually, that settles the score. If you win the Democratic primary in Philadelphia, you're pretty golden. The Republican Party in Philadelphia. No, Rick, listen, you're going to jump off when you go, you maniac. Look where he almost jumped off. Sit. Yeah, that's, we don't do that, Rick the Puppy. Jesus, God. The architect of this building. This is the biggest building in the city of Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Art Museum. And, okay, Rick Puppy, run free. Oh, wait, don't run free. There's a little bug right there. So when the architect who built this building, he built this side, and then he built this side of the building. And then they ran out of money for this part. He was like, yeah, guys, we need a few, they probably needed a few extra million to get this built. Go ahead, Rick the Puppy, run free in the fountain. Yeah. It's a beautiful building. I was pickpocketed in there. That's one of the many crimes that happened to me filming this YouTube channel. You've seen how many times my car has been broken into. Or no, you know what? I don't think I've told you guys every time. And then there's times where I get involved in hit and runs. And so I've been involved, I don't know, in like 10 crimes. And I think I've only really talked to the cops in the last 7 years doing this channel. The cops only came to my house one time. And that was because there was a shooting at the Super Bowl celebration at the Eagles at Frankfurt and Cottman. By the way, don't forget to shop the Mayfair Business Improvement District. What are they doing here? It's the Rocky Steps. And over there, that's the spot where Frank Stallone yelled at my dad. No, Rick the Puppy, it's taped off. Rick the Puppy, chaos and anarchy. What are they doing? Oh, the whole thing's roped off, Rick the Puppy. What's going on at the Rocky Steps? Yeah, right there. I'll tell the story real quick. It's a good one. Right there. Me, my mom, and my dad, we stood here for the filming of Rocky Balboa, Rocky 6. And we actually watched Rocky Sylvester Stallone run up these steps. And Rocky, I guess Sly Stallone is like a method actor. And he was like in character, but he was still talking to the fans off camera in between takes. And he was like, hey, I want to thank everybody for coming out. You know, I hope you guys see the movie when it comes out. And I got somebody new with me, Adrian. And then somebody said, Rock, I'm sorry Adrian died. And he goes, that's all right, I got somebody new who's going to be good. You know, the Sly impression dies after a few seconds. And then, so anyway, my dad says to Sly, he goes, yo, let me get your autograph. And Frank Stallone went up to my dad and said, why you gotta ruin it? He was having a good time with the fans and you had to ruin it. And I was like, man, Frank Stallone's a dick. And then I actually said to my dad, I said, haha, you got yelled at by Frank Stallone. And that's the Frank Stallone story. Look at that, they're putting the caulk in between the steps. That's what they're doing. They're leveling the steps out. The steps are really jacked on the other side. Looks like they fixed that. And that's right, they got the Rocky statue on top of the art museum steps. And then you got the other Rocky statue down here. Here's the dumb new sign, Rick the Puppy. Laugh at this with me. Philadelphia Art Museum. Nope. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, cuz. I'm not going to call it that. I'm going to call it the Philadelphia Museum of Art. What do you think of that? I wonder if they changed the name to their Facebook page. We'll find out. And then what's the other thing? I saw a story on YouTube that the people on the board of the Philadelphia Museum of Art are upset about the name change. They didn't know that was like a thing. So they're like, Jesus, God, that's stupid. This is the Rocky shop. Sylvester Stallone actually owns this store. You go in here and they have Rocky merchandise. Once a year we have Rocky Day in Philadelphia. And Sylvester Stallone comes here to this spot. People line up and gather. It's kind of like seeing Santa Claus at the mall. But it's Sylvester Stallone at the Rocky statue. Last time they did it, the weather was shitty. It was so bad. I was like, I'm not going here. Here it is, the Rocky statue. Okay, Rick the Puppy, let me get your picture. No, go with Rocky. No, you got to get back up there. No, you're not helping me. Get back up there. Rick the Puppy, go, get off me, Rick the Puppy. Oh, maybe we'll do it that way. Hold on. Come here. Come here. Don't bite my face. People have been asking me to do another history tour. Right? People always ask me to do history tours. And I don't like to repeat myself, and I'm trying to think. I don't think I did a tour around the art museum. Maybe down the Ben Franklin Parkway a bit. I think that might be a tour. I'll have to map that out. I remember about 6 years ago, right when the channel was starting, I was trying to be a tour guide. My goal was to be a tour guide of Philadelphia and then, give tours and then also do YouTube like on the side. And that way you have two streams of revenue coming in. And I worked for this one place, or I tried out for a spot, and they didn't let me be a tour guide. American Heritage Walk coming in 2026. Right there. What is that? What is that, Rick the Puppy? Now, there used to be art. I think there used to be a work of art in that piece of grass right there. They're probably, who knows? We'll find out. We'll be here. So anyway, the tour guide company, they didn't hire me. But I got all this knowledge of the city in my head, which helped the YouTube channel, right? And I said, I just do the YouTube thing, and once in a while, I'll do a meet and greet with the viewers. And I'll say, hey, meet me here. The tours are free. All you got to do is give me a tip. Just the tip. There it is. Here's the hours to the museum. 10 to 5 on Monday. They're closed Tuesday and Wednesday. Ooh, let's get some free art right here, Rick the Puppy. This is the main entrance. Ooh. Looks like a dolly. That is Salvador Dali. I think that's the one dolly they have on display here. So I just saved you $36. Oh, no, we're not doing that. And if you ever come to the art museum, there is a art museum behind the art museum. And then there's sculptures up and down Boathouse Row. They have parking here. $39 you can park here. Or if you're a member, it's $15. I was a member there. But then I was pickpocketed. And then I was just like, I didn't renew my season pass when I had it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So anyway, when I'm helping Pat Dugan, I'm going to help him tomorrow. I'm going to go around, try to get some people out to vote. And I noticed one thing in the comments, and I already knew this, but America's really divided when it comes to politics. And I had like a real, I lay in bed at night before I go to sleep and I worry about things. Instead of counting sheep, I worry. And I was thinking, both sides of the political spectrum think the other side is destroying America. And I don't remember it being that way in the 80s. But I was a kid in the 80s. But I didn't feel like America was so divisive back then. And now, it almost feels like we're on the brink of a civil war, right? We're not. I don't think we are, because I don't know about you. I'm not doing it. I'm not taking part in it. I'll become a Quaker. I swear to God, I'll become a Quaker. I don't need your civil war. Look, Rick the Puppy, that's art. Huh? Yeah, I'm not going to take part in that. But what I will do is I will help candidates who are not part of the system. And that's why I'm helping Pat Dugan. I think one of the problems we have with America today is everybody's in their own bubble, and you get in your own algorithm and you swipe. My algorithm's all screwed up. It doesn't know what the hell to show me. I wouldn't work this hard or talk about a guy so much if I didn't believe he was an improvement to what we have now. And I will probably never do this again. I will probably never back a major candidate or a candidate for an office ever again. And I'll never have the opportunity to have conversation. Well, maybe I will. I mean, I talked to the governor. Maybe I will talk to, but I wouldn't waste your time. I wouldn't waste my time if I didn't think it was the right thing to do. So if you live in Philadelphia today and you can vote, please vote for Pat Dugan for district attorney. Military veteran, judge, lawyer, jumped out of airplanes. I wouldn't jump out of airplanes. This guy did for our country. I think, I'm not 100% certain, but I think after 9/11, Pat rejoined the National Guard because he thought it was the right thing to do. He is, in my eyes, he is a patriotic American. And I gladly endorse him And I look, if I can get 5 years to vote for him today, I did it. I did my job. But if I can get 5 more years to tell 5 people to vote for him, then I really did my job. So, if you can, if you live in Philadelphia, vote for Pat. If you can, text people. Text people. It's the least voted election in the city, and it's the one that means the most to the citizens. It's going to be another 4 years of my car getting broken into and shit getting stolen and retail stores closing because the district attorney doesn't prosecute shoplifting crimes. Businesses are fleeing the city, and I know retail's dying. Larry Krasner sped up the death of retail in Center City, Philadelphia. I think he did a better job of killing it than COVID did. Or maybe just as good of a job. Wawa has said that they left Center City, Philadelphia for safety and security reasons. Because the district attorney doesn't prosecute shoplifters. And now I have to walk around the whole city looking for a goddamn place. Well, you don't have to really walk far. You just go to CVS. But anyway, I like a Wawa. I like to buy a Wawa iced tea in Center City. I don't know why. It's the only time I ever do it. And I don't do it no more because of Larry Krasner. All right, we're getting ridiculous now. All right, guys. Tomorrow, or today, when you see this, I will be helping out the Dugan campaign. I'm going to be going around the polling places, talking to polling workers, kind of documenting the day. Hopefully I'll get a few seconds to talk to Pat to see how his day goes. And I plan on being there at the victory rally in Northeast Philadelphia tomorrow night if he wins. When he wins, as my friend Luke would say. When he wins. Oh, if you drive your car in Center City, Philadelphia, beware. There are painting new bus-only lanes, and they're going to be taking pictures of license plates on SEPTA buses, and if you get caught driving in one of those lanes, the SEPTA bus will take a picture of you, and you'll get a ticket. The bus drivers, they don't get any of that money. They're just now they're policing us. The bus drivers, who are going to probably be going on strike very soon. There's a statue of Abraham Lincoln. Not sure why it's here. It's just here. There's a bunch of statues. Maybe we'll do that. We'll do the statue tour. All right. Well, this is scattered brain. This is scattered brain. Oh. All right. I have a Patreon. I do cameos. Merch.